Hello everyone, hello and welcome back to BRR. Thank you for joining me. This is Tom Quee once again. I just want to start out by saying again, just thank you. Thank you if you're listening, please subscribe. If you're listening on iTunes, seek us out on YouTube, just like, comment. It's great to see that a lot of the episodes for individual battlers have got comments, people talking about them, and that's what I want really. Obviously talk about the episode as well, feedback's greatly appreciated, but just kind of discuss what you think about the battler that's on the page or any other things that ideas you have about them or things that people you want them to see or whatever, and explore the channel as well. We've got a whole lot of episodes on there, over 20 episodes on there, as well as several different compilations that I'm working on. By the time this one comes out, there'll have been stuff like what I believe is the longest choke ever captured on camera. I've shared a little compilation. It's quite an obscure battle, so maybe no one's heard of it, but check that out. Dago Davalo, who I had on the show recently, who was brilliant, versus O-Dub. So there's stuff on there, the very worst of Pedro, stuff like that, all that good stuff, all that good stuff. But anyway, my guest today is a rare breed of battler. He's someone who kind of started very, very early on. This is his first upload, July 2009. So in those proper, when Don't Flop looked like it was well, I imagine it was filmed on one of those little camcorders at the flip out screen. Like, how old do those seem now? Like, I saw some of those recently in London. I was like, you just use your phone or you use a DS, like those sort of, they're just built for kind of mom and dad, holidays in the early 2000s, but whatever. He's in these battles, but he continues from there, really showing out. I mean, this is a time when the league, everything was new. So, okay, international battles had existed in forms prior, but kind of getting a guest over to just battle this one person, to headline events. Definition was there to do doubles battles with the big names. Definition, it's a world domination. Definition, you were there. I just going through your career, you can't help but look back and think, you showed out.
What a bloody legend! That's what you think when you look at him. Yeah, I was always been kind of lucky because I've been the first person doing a lot of battle things that are now established as like the norm, and it's not because I'm like massively creative or an outside the box thinker. It's just because I was there being like at the forefront when those things were being developed.
So what would you say then? Would you say the mirror match, is that you?
Yeah, that was kind of an idea that ran by me. Like, he come up with that, and obviously I was just like, yeah, I'll do that. And then when people seen it, they were like, wow, he's such a creative genius. I think he's like the Bill Gates of battle rap.
Compliments battle as well, was that you?
No, I didn't invent that.
Okay.
That I'm sure that I was probably the first one to do a written compliments battle. I think a lot of it is the first time it's been done in the written format. Right. But there used to be loads of freestyle events where like you'd have a massive battle tournament and everyone would be like insulting each other, and then you'd get on stage and go like, right, it's the final round, compliments only, and just to throw a curveball in there. And then I thought, that'd be quite a good thing to adapt for like a written league. And then everyone's like, oh yeah, he's such a creative genius,
visionary.
Yeah, like 14-year-olds
of like battle rap, like
yeah, all the people seeing the new Ghostbusters movie being like, wow, it's so original, so creative. How does he do it?
So is this where this starts for you then at these events? Is this prior to online, or?
Do you mean where I first started out?
Yeah, I suppose your interest in it and
I started watching it. The first battle I ever got sent, I don't know if it's really sad that I remember the first time I ever watched a battle.
Please.
It was in a movie that you might not have heard of called 8 Mile. No, it was my friend at school. He sent me over MSN Mike Assassin versus Stig on Jump Off, and it was like mind blowing because I was like, whoa, he's like a Geordie rapper.
Yeah.
But he's like rapping in that accent. He's not putting on like an American one, which everyone pretty much does when they first start out.
Yeah, it feels so raw when you hear it, don't you? The British accent at first.
Yeah, exactly. So like normally we rap in American accents. Like everyone's, when they start out, they rap in an American accent. Especially Americans do.
Shout out to
Yeah, so I watched that and I was like, wow, just changing that. I just really fell in love with it. It was something so new, like hip hop kind of. It, as a mainstream culture, it's very generic. Like it's like, make a hip hop song. It has to be like 3 minutes long. Do this, blah blah blah. And this was kind of an evolution of battle rap. Like obviously, I'd seen 8 Mile, I'd like been in like minor battles at school, like little look at your shoes, they look like you stepped in poos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And this was kind of like the next level of it, being like, wow, these guys are really good. They look like they're famous because I'm seeing them on the internet. I want to be involved in that. And then I think it was in about 2009, I was at college, and we had to do a business module. And I just thought, I'll just put a battle event on. Really, I'd been watching Jump Off. I'd seen the beginnings of Don't Flop, and I thought, that looks easy enough. So I just threw a battle event, and then Seuss was like 13 or something back then. And you don't realize how like annoying you are when you're 13 and you don't want to speak to people. And he would just message her all the time with the links to the battle, like check out this guy. And then eventually just rang me and was like, do you want to do this battle? We've got a pseudonym.
So we went and drove the whip to the back of his crib door. He came out like, yo, we is hanging it in York. Shout outs to the tractor and pitchfork. And you were like, what are you wanking a pig for? We gotta go.
He's got no photos online. He's got no MySpace page. The only way you can look at him is from this Sprungy battle, which he's wearing like a massive scarf on and a hat, so you can't really see what he looks like. So I was like, yeah, sure. He looks like an amazing opponent to write for. Got loads of material already.
To be fair, though, I mean, I know Pseudonym is a name that most modern Don't Flop or Battle Rap fans might be aware of. The guy was big back in the day, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he did well.
He's really good as well.
He's really, I didn't know him that well, and he was around for basically 2009 to 2011. Then a 4-year break. Then he came back for King of the Ronalds, interestingly, against Jay Short.
Yeah.
But he's talented, man. He is impressive. Like, I really like his rounds in this.
Yeah, he's kind of like an early Caustic, maybe Caustic 1.0.
Okay.
Because like he was just literally he was beating everyone pretty much, but he never quite like got that backing behind him, because I don't think he was so much out there. Like, Facebook was really just starting to get big when we were battling, when we first started out, and everyone was moving from MySpace to Facebook, and it was building more of a community. And he was always kind of like in the background, whereas I would post like 10 statuses a day. I would basically be like, innuendo is now, and just post statuses all the time. And a lot of the other battlers did, but Pseudonym was always kind of in the background of that, and like never really interacted that heavily. And I think battling, getting your name out there, is sort of how much you spam your battles and how much you build yourself up and present yourself with an ego, which I don't think Pseudonym really did, but he's very, very good, which kind of older than us as well. So he was past that point in his life where we thought like, if I keep posting my battles, I'll get famous eventually. Whereas Pseudonym had been through all that and realised, you're not going to get famous off battle rap.
So no, it's right what you say, because I don't understand why more battlers aren't bigger, like why they don't build their brand better, because you have these people out there, these, shout out to people on Twitch and the FIFA streamers and the vloggers and all that, but like there's no way that like a Lunacy or an O'Shea, I know they have some acclaim, but like, you'd think they'd have giant followings, but maybe like Pseudonym, kind of, they like being on the stage, don't they? And maybe being in the social media is a bit more backstage for some of them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like you like celebrities leave that to someone else, you know what I mean? Like Ariana Grande is not running her own Twitter feed.
No.
You know what I mean? Like in battlers, kind of, they think they're famous and they don't need to do their social media marketing. And if they had like a team of social media marketers, I'm sure they'd be massive, but they don't. So
no, Lunacy don't know a thing about AdWords, man. Like,
Yeah, exactly. He ain't checking his analytics.
No. SEO stands for something different in his eyes. But we open on something that I love about these early Don't Flop videos, something that fills me nostalgia, is the kind of, they'd always open with adverts of shops you'd never heard of or would go to.
Yeah.
Be like, go to like
t-shirt shop,
funkyape.org, and it's like, what is this? Like, but fair enough, I don't know. Again, I've made this point earlier on other episodes. I want to know the financial ramifications just out of curiosity, like how much was paid, because these battles weren't viewed, so I don't really, but regardless, I'm sure we'll find that out one day, but I'd love to make some sort of like almost troll video, but also in a homage as well, where it's just an hour-long clip of just Don't Flop advert intros from all the different videos, just to see all these like logos over and over again, like never ending, kind of like Too Many Cooks sort of thing there. But this is your debut. This is Don't Flop North. O'Shea introducing you, like, I mean, so how long had Don't Flop been around at this point to you getting in, if O'Shea was kind of hosting battles?
I think it was the second Don't Flop North event.
Right.
I think the one before it was the headline was Lego versus O'Shea. So I think this was the second one. I think Don't Flop had been around maybe just about 6 months. Like 2,000 views was a big battle back then. Yeah, it was really just starting out. And like I said before, Seuss kind of got me on Don't Flop, but I was like really arrogant. I was like really passive about my first battle. I don't know why. I just wrote it in one go and just thought that's good enough and didn't really practice it, and just kind of like went down with Einstein, and he like absolutely smashed his, and I was just kind of like I saw myself as like Einstein's idiot friend, which I think is why when I battled Joe Davies, it's such a like different, it's like a 180 on it, because I realized like how bad the pseudonym battle was on my part. Yeah, like it is cringy.
It's slightly cringy. I mean, it's more a curiosity for me. I like seeing the tryouts, and I don't think it was a bit of a wake-up call to you. Not that it's all bad, but clearly you remedy a lot of the criticisms, and the Joe Davies battle is great. Pseudonym kicking off, talking about that when you guys ciphered outside, you said that you touched kids, and he believed you. Did this happen, or was this just... I came up freestyle?
We would do it, we were ciphering outside, and I said... I'm flowing through the 20s. No, I did something about some wordplay on 16s, basically.
Right.
You know, the old generic wordplay where like 16s, but it was about I do 16s like a rapper. That was like the level of the punchline. And obviously, Pseudonym was like, Ooh, I've got him here. I better get him with this pedo bar. I better hope he's shit. And, work plan accomplished.
I like his third. His first, I should say. I like his first because, he says, fuck off back to Newcastle, where most people attend footy matches and go clubbing, but not Deff. Him and his whole coven stay in their posh homes, smoke bud, listen to Joe Bud, and then congratulate themselves on being so fugging. It's just a nice kind of attack there. It really kind of, I mean, he's got the complete Battler 2009 model, hasn't he?
Yeah,
and I don't mean that disparagingly.
And stuff like that.
Right, Covent.
Yeah, just stuff you never like caught. Like,
he's trying to say you're posh, but he's saying Covent. Yeah,
I'll be like, damn, I lost this battle. I better go back to my Covent and they wipe away my tears.
Another kind of 2009 scar on the battle is he calls you presenter in T4. Just kind of wow. Little throwback there. Now,
rest in peace.
Yeah, Steve Jones was probably who he was going for there. I don't know. Yeah, if you remember any.
That's a bit of a compliment.
Yeah, he's.
I wish I got compared to Steve Jones more often. To be honest,
he's quite the beefcake, proverbially. I suppose. Now, the whole thing about battler's first lines. What is the first thing you say in your first battle? You can't exactly extrapolate anything towards that, but it's just interesting. What was their kind of dominant line? Here, you talk about being sent there by Colgate because he was missing his dentist appointment.
Was that the first line?
Literally the first line is about you being sent there by Colgate. Bad, but it just doesn't make sense. Why would a toothpaste company be like sort of? Are they aligned to the dentistry? I don't know. Because basically, he was missing his dentist appointments, and it was getting annoying for them. So you were sent there. I just find that curious. You're so known now for the one-liner that can just kick off a battle or just kill an opponent. You're so good at that and the attack. And I was just like, oh wow, like what is his angle here?
It's because, right, I think it come from, obviously I had to do a lot of my research of the Sprungy battle because that was the only footage that was there. And Sprungy in it says, like, your teeth are yellow. And I think to myself, ooh, how can I extrapolate on this? And make this, like, some killer angle. I'm like, oh, mate, I'm sitting there, I'm standing there brushing my teeth, going, teeth lines, ooh, Colgate, ooh. This is gonna pop off. Title shot after this line. Yeah, it's just one of them. It's just a huge learning curve, basically. Like there's so many things that you write and say to yourself and think will be amazing, and you say it out loud, and it's like, oh shit. It's like if you're in a business meeting and they're like, the manager's saying something, and then you think of an idea. And then you're like, oh, this is going to shut this meeting down. Promotion lined up. I'm already spending my pay rise. And then you say it out loud and it's like, yeah, this is terrible.
Right. Yeah. There continually. And there's lots of performing and glancing continually at the camera as well. It was hard back then, though, to know how to perform in front of the camera. It's so new, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's in front of a crowd as well, which was like, a battle crowd back then was a totally new thing. Like even the jump off, the 2-on-2s and stuff like that, it wasn't sold and packaged as an event. It wasn't a commodity, you know what I mean? It was filmed as like, this is a competition, we'll invite 6 people to watch, whereas Don't Flop kind of marketed it as, this is like a concert, this is an event, and you're putting people on stage in the center of it who've never performed in front of a group of people before, and obviously you're going to get like shit amateur results. Like that event, there was probably about 3 good battles from it, and that's probably giving them a bit more credit than they deserve. Yeah, so
Don't Flop North 2. I need to check out the whole lineup and see how many. I'm curious, but I take your word for it. I bet there's not many. This is one of them though, and it's mainly because of not mainly because of pseudonym. Yeah, I mean it kind of is. Got his first. You got your first blowjob of a homeless bird for half a Big Mac. I mean that's not like a bar, but it just kind of sets up a little punch. Yeah. He says that I thought was quite telling of the era as well. Seeing as battle these days, he says it's derogatory as well. Seeing as battles these days are mostly written, I don't even know why I'm competing with him. So I mean that it may be pseudonym again, the Facebook, MySpace migration, the written freestyle. It's tough to adapt, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a bit weird. Like he did freestyle a lot more than me. Like I remember standing there thinking a lot of his stuff he's clearly come up with on the day because it was relevant to what happened that day, whereas I was like, I must have everything perfect, I must not do a flip, I must like totally just nail this performance. And it is strange because some people, like I probably could have went in there and did a lot more freestyle stuff and been all right, and it probably would have made my performance better, but I was so much like, right, this new written format's just kicking off and I'm going to be the biggest star of them all, so I must like demonstrate how much better the written format is than the freestyle. So yeah, I kind of wanted to prove that, but I mean I probably prefer freestyle battles, to be honest. Yeah, it's just I prefer the vibe to them. I think that there's a lot more of a fun vibe. Like I grew up watching freestyle battles, whereas written's kind of like, especially when a written battle goes bad, it's like really, really bad. Like if a freestyle battle goes bad, it can be quite funny. But if a written one goes bad, it's like, I can't believe this guy's like practiced this stuff and it's shit.
Yeah, that's true actually. And I was someone who got into Don't Flop first and then kind of went back to the WRCs kind of through Illmatic and Thesaurus. And watching those battles being kind of almost, what I came up on was kind of circa 2011 battle rap. I was like, God, there's so much energy here.
Yeah, just not jumping up and down.
Yeah, everyone's going crazy in each other's faces as a beat. The beats are always great as well, like freestyle beats of that era, like the sort of Scribble Jam music was fantastic. Like, know. And but not even for nostalgia value, like I've got a few people coming up on the show who've been on the WRCs and been watching a lot of the battles back and stuff. Just this quality, you're not there if you're not good because it's such an elite group of people. Pretty much, exactly. So many of those people from that era have gone on to be huge names or were highly respected names, like Can Do's, etc.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think like I kind of wanted to be that person. Like I wanted to be the thesaurus of the written era, which is why I was so like focused and like toning it down a bit. But I mean, yeah, just the energy on those battles is so good. Like you can watch any of them. You could watch a freestyle battle and watch a written one, and there's just so many huge differences between it, and you don't quite get why like so many people prefer written when you go back and watch a freestyle, like a really, really good freestyle battle. Like to me, shits on a written one any day just because of the skill level involved, and like you can watch it and get everything as you're watching it, whereas if you watch a written one, you've got to go back and do like 3 months research to find out when they last battled, what that this thing's relevant to.
Yeah, and there's certain aspects of freestyle that mean that sort of tropes of written cannot exist. You can't have slogans because that suggests pre-write. You can't have long schemes. Like you can't have anything indicative of secondary thought. It's completely primary, and that's what makes it so exciting. And we will get onto some of the freestyle battles that you've been part of, but I just want to focus on this second round against Pseudonym, or should I say against Sprungy? Because it's mostly against Sprungy. You say your writtens, you spit as hot as Sprungy, and I should say that it was 6 years ago that Sprungy 1 on YouTube commented on the battle. I don't know if you saw his comment.
I probably did. I'm over it though. I forgive him.
He says, lol, Sprungy gets another mention. Good battle. I definitely think Def's second verse was more towards me. Bad man. So there we go. A little blast from the past from Sprungy there. And you also commented on the battle. I don't know if you remember your comment.
Wow. That's like the rule of battling. Never comment on your own battle.
It's there. I just kind of was looking through. The great thing about these old battles that have like 5,000 views for Have O'Shea, Kruger, etc. is that most likely you comment on it and completely forgot about it, but the comment's just still there when you're actually kind of known, you know. So you say that my thoughts on this shit are that we both got slept on. Pseudo should have got crazy reactions from some lines, and I should have. Pseudonym's last round was crazy. It was a lot more than I even remembered. Watch out for Definition versus Joe Davies coming soon for a big battle. Trust me, peace. So, I mean, you were there. You knew you could do better.
Yeah, I knew shit. Yeah, because I remember that the pseudonym battle got released after I'd done my Joe Davies battle, and I was standing in a nightclub, and this guy came on and was like, "Oh, seen your pseudonym battle. You're pretty shit." And I've known like that 2 days before I'd done my Joe Davies battle and how much better it was. And I was like, "Yeah, but please, you need to understand. Like, I've already done a battle." He's like, "Nah, but listen, you need to improve on this." And he gave me like a 30-minute lecture on like all the things that I needed to do. And I was like, "Yeah, I know, I did it already. Thank you." And then like as soon like when my Joe Davies battle got released, he was like, "See," he messaged me like, "See, I told you." I told him. He was like, "Oh, thank you. You're such a lifesaver." Block.
Yes. So yeah, following on from the Joe Davies battle, it's kind of crazy to watch the ascension that you go through. Really, as I was saying, you're very much on the cusp of history of Don't Flop. You're trying all these new things out here, but you know, you're in the doubles tournament. You're battling international opponents. Real Deal, Caustic, Tricky P were like, you know, 3 battles in a row that got uploaded when you taking on internationals. Like, how much time were you spending? Pamphlet on a recent episode was saying that he had to dedicate so much of his personal time to really be who he wanted to be in the league. Were you like making a lot of sacrifices just to kind of put in the hours?
Yeah, I was pretty much just all the time like obsessed with battle rap. Like, I'll write in my head, so I'll just structure my verses in my head, and I was literally spending like every minute of the day just going through stuff. I think that's why I've never choked, is because...
You've never choked, is that right?
No, I've never choked in the battle, and it's just because I constantly go over it in my head as much as possible. And it does kind of become a strain on your life. Like, I was battling every single month, so I was having to get time off work. I was having to then put myself through like preparing, and it does eat up quite a lot of your life. But I did enjoy it. Like, I know Pamphlet will say the same thing. Like, you do really get a buzz out of it.
Yeah, of course.
And it feels weird, like when you take a month where you're not battling, because you're so used to this regime of like, right, wake up, get a shower, practice my bars in the shower, come out, write stuff, rewrite it, add stuff in, play it someone, go to work, go through it all the time at work. And it's not like taxing, it's just I don't think people appreciate how much work really does go into it. And if you're not obsessed over it, then I don't think you're going to do as well. Like, I've got quite an obsessive personality. Like, when I want to do something, that'll be my only focus. Like, I'll just put like 110% into it, and if I'm not, then I feel like it's going to be shit. So like,
and the amount of time that you put into this thing, you know, this called battle rap, like, it's completely worth it in the sense that you have all these great moments captured on camera.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's kind of like a lot of people will be like, "Oh, you spend so much time," but it's like, what do you really have to show for your like life over the past? That sounds like a really snarky way of saying it, but you know what I mean. Yeah. It's just kind of like a cool thing to have. And you know, do you find yourself fondly looking back? I mean, not even in a kind of masturbatory way, just in a kind of like, it's sometimes nice to recollect.
Yeah, of course I do. Like, I remember, like, growing up, I remember being that kid who was watching battles, and, like, to be a part of it and to get to the level that I got to. It wasn't the top, but I'm still proud of what I've managed to do, and, like, go to Canada and stuff like that, and hold my own. Like, I am really proud of it. There was a time when I was teaching, and it was becoming really detrimental. Like, I got fired because a school found out that I used to battle. Yeah,
I heard that. One of the things that I was thinking about when I did hear that, I was thinking, I wonder how long it was before someone recognised you.
It was within 3 days.
What?
So
3 days?
I was working at high school, and we had the year 9s come in on the Monday, and it was all fine then, nothing. And then I was taking a year 10 class, and they come in on the Wednesday, and as soon as we got in the yard in the morning, like, boom, straight away, oh my God, definition, are you teaching here? Yeah, like, and I just went to the head teacher at that point and was like, look, like, I know, I did tell them at the interview that I used to be a battle rapper.
Yeah, of course.
And they were fine about it then. Obviously, they didn't look into it. And then they were like, oh, yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Send us a link to the stuff so we can watch it and just make sure it's okay. And then, like, within 2 hours...
battle.
Yeah, within 2 hours, they just called me in the office and were like, yeah, we're going to have to fire you because we can't have this, like, publicly broadcast as one of our teachers.
Sorry.
And that was a point where I was, like, really, like, I wish I'd never done it.
What was that era then? So you were teaching what around like your sort of 2012s, around kind of like the...
No, it was like 2014.
Oh, okay.
I think, yeah, and then I had all my battles unlisted for like 6 months, and then I just thought, you know what, fuck it, like, it's teaching's not a job that's worth giving your life up for, and it's worked out. Like, I went back to like a minimum wage job, and was like, you know what, I'm gonna like build myself up in another career in the industry, and that's pretty much what's happened. Like, I work from home now, just building websites, and it's like such an amazing job. It was so much fun. Like, and I look back and think, thank fuck I got sacked for being a battle rapper, because I couldn't handle...
You were depriving the community as well of these battles. Like, people were like, where is Def? Like, I remember some hashtags, like, just around being like, people knew sort of in somewhat what had happened, like, you know, they'd been listed for a job or whatever. So that is great, though. 3 days in, that is... I suppose... And it'd be bubbling in the background, even if you didn't get caught for the first year. There's just any influx of kids is going to make it get known.
Exactly, yeah. It's always going to be in the back of your mind, and it's like, I don't want to live in this job where I think every day today could be the day I get sacked. You're
paying the price for your popularity. It's barbaric. It doesn't make any sense. You know?
Being such a legend.
Just before we jump onto the next battle proper, I want to just, I said to you before we went on air, like, same with O'Shea, too many battles to cover. Like, unfortunately, some of these great battles, Caustic Battle, Real Deal Battle, like the Pamphlet Battle as well, we just can't touch upon. You know, watch those battles. They're really, really good battles. One that I do just want to quickly know about, like, how did you get on the first World Dom? That's huge.
I actually applied. I messaged Lush One for Battle of the Bay. You know, the one that Kruger and DK battled at.
Sure, yeah. Kruger battled Illusion Z there, yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'll pay my flight. And Lush One, like, seen it and just didn't reply. Devastating. So I just thought, oh, you know what? Like, I'm gonna just save up and I'm gonna go out next year. And then World Domination come up. King of the Dotwood, just a new starting out league. And I remember Tricky P had commented on one of my battles saying, like, Definition's really dope. I'd love to battle him if he ever come out to Canada. So I pretty much had my match confirmed. And then I can't remember exactly who organised it, but it was just like, do you want to come to World Domination? I was like, yeah, I've got the money. Nice one. Let's go.
Jesus.
And then I got a shock because I got a £500 phone bill when I come back. But it was worth it.
Yeah, of course. Like, I mean, especially that early period of King of the Dot, to be part of that. I mean, you are kind of Mr. World Dom, aren't you, unofficially?
Yeah, but not anymore. I can't go this year, unfortunately.
But to do 5 in a row and not to be Canadian, that's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's a great achievement. And these events are huge. I mean, you must have been just seeing... What were the big battles of that event? I can't really recall.
Pat Stay versus... I've actually got the poster on my wall, so I can read you the whole card if you want.
Please do.
Right, Pat Stay versus Holohan, Arcane versus Saurus, Low Pesci versus Real Deal, Kid Twist versus Paul Rich versus Sensor, Sketch Menace versus Dirt Bagdan, Tricky P versus me, HFK versus Disaster, Sharon versus A-Class, Bender versus 24/7, Justice versus Jay's Juice, Miracle versus Roan, Aftershock versus D-Lord, Jack Shit versus Kruger, Tycoon Tax versus Roosevelt, Skelly versus QP.
Tycoon Tax was there then? Shit, I didn't really...
Yeah. I don't know if he actually battled then. I can't remember. I have this ongoing joke that I don't know who
That's
Tycoon
crazy.
Tax is.
You got the poster though. That's really cool.
Yeah, Tricky P. Sharon versus Solcan, Cap Callis, Diaz versus Mike Flames, and Locust versus Matt Daly. So pretty much all of them battles could be like main event now.
Yeah, completely. Seriously, yeah.
Like anything could be like. It's weird because I'm on the flyer above like Roan and
Diz.
Yeah, Kruger above Sharon. So it's crazy how stuff flips around.
Yeah, was there any like? I mean, obviously when battle rap was so little known back then, was there any friends or family who were like, "You're going to Canada to battle"? Or were they just really impressed? Because I guess it's such a cool thing.
Yeah, they didn't really know what it was. Like my mum thought I was like a DJ for years. Like she thought I was going out DJing every year.
No, it's DFAFD.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like people just didn't really understand. They were like, "Why are you going to Canada to do a rap battle?"
Yeah,
and I was like, "Because I want to. I'm still 15 in my head. This makes sense. Think of the views."
We'll pull up to the next battle, which is against Jefferson Price.
But pussy smells like there's a fish inside. The crabs on the scabs look like aliens from District 9. If a pussy was a rapper, it would be the Blizzard type, spotty as fuck, but still somehow big in grime.
Now, at the
Rest
start,
in peace.
Yeah, we'll get into that for sure. Yeah, at the start of this video, there is an advert again of earlier my obsession with the adverts. There's an advert for the first release from Don't Flop Records, which huge label in the scene, had two releases.
Wow.
Its first release is the one that's been advertised. That's Jefferson Price's first album. Do you remember what that was called, Def? It's got a terrible title.
It's like on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah. It was called Just Assume.
Just Assume I'm Everywhere. Yes. Yeah. That's like
everywhere. It's not even an acronym. It's just a weird title.
It's so retroactively like meaningful as well because you're like, now he's gone. He's everywhere. Don't you see? Jefferson Price lives as long as his music's around.
Featuring Solcan.
Wow.
The album, so not bad. They play some of it in the intro. I'm not gonna. I mean, it's not great. Let's not mince words. But the only other release from Don't Flop Records, Definition.
Who was it?
It was the Tone and Smith Show.
Oh, right.
Now, this video, the reason I know that, because this video...
Is that out?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. In this video, which is from 2012, there's an advert for this, Tone and Smith Show, and it says the 6-track...
Coming soon.
Will be coming soon. It says full-length album dropping on Don't Flop Records in the near future. It doesn't come out for almost 4 years after that, so it's just kind of like...
I didn't even know it's out now.
Yeah, it's out.
I've seen people posting album art, but I thought when they meant album, it was just album art.
No, it's out.
Wow.
So,
I'll have to listen to it then.
Yeah, big up Tony D and Locksmith, especially. I don't know if you've seen, they've got this new video out with Dialect called This One's For You that was filmed at a Don't Flop event. It's actually a really good song.
Cool.
They killed it. It was really, really good. But
yeah, I love Tony and Locksmith. They're absolutely
they're great.
They're really good rappers and they're hilarious as well.
Yeah, no, I Locksmith was a bit not that I diss, but battling, I was kind of whatever. But then I saw him on track and I really enjoyed it, man. He's just excellent. They've got great personality together. And this is a huge event. This is day 2 of To The Test 10. Massive crowd. I mean, ridiculous memories of this event. You've been around Don't Flop since 2009. You've been around Don't Flop since Pseudonym was in Don't Flop. And now you're seeing this giant event. It must have been crazy.
It was at the point, I'm going to totally deflate your balloon here, but it was at the point when I literally didn't give a shit about battling. And I was like, I'm fucking battling Jefferson Price. He's an up-and-comer. I just can't be
Twitter grudge
bothered
match,
with
apparently, says.
Yeah, I just used to troll, Jefferson Price all day on Twitter. A lot of the things I say in the battle that get reactions are just tweets that I said.
Right.
Because I was lazy and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to use tweets that I've already written in this battle. But it was literally at a point where I just did not give a shit about battling. And Jeff had paid my train fare. Was that just weariness? With just you battled so much? Yeah, I think it was, and it just felt like I was not really going anywhere. I think world domination to me is always when I get my second wind. I'll like battling at the start of the year. I'll begin to hate it, and then I'll do world domination. I'll be like, oh, this is amazing. I feel like a celebrity for a weekend. And then it'll like slowly go like shit, like peter out, and then the next world domination comes. I'm like, oh yes, it's amazing. And I think that was just at a point, like I think it was February or something, and I just didn't give a shit. Like, and the battle, you can tell I put like my all into the first round, and then was like, oh shit, I've got to do 2 more rounds.
Yeah, I mean, MA calls your second and third boring.
Yeah, which is fair enough.
You know,
it is.
Which we'll get to MA's declaration of that. But declares it a Twitter grudge match. Someone gives that a schmack, which is good to hear.
Wow. The first schmack ever used in a battle.
I think
potentially.
I think that was patient zero.
Yeah.
Jeff is here completing his first year in the league, and in his first, he says, as you say, he paid your train fare there, £23.
We were living back then.
Yeah, and
this battle money.
One of the interesting things about this battle is it's a nice prelude to the caustic incident, purely because behind Jeff you see Soul, and Soul's like proper laughing at Jeff's okay bars, but like they're mates, I get it, like, you know, and there are quite a lot of comments be like, who's this guy behind Jefferson Price, fuck this guy. Obviously Soul's incredible, no doubt. We're going to get onto your battle with Soul later, but you know, it tells a lot, doesn't it? They were close buddies, you know, and you could feel that the whole audience is fantastic. There's so many battlers behind each punch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was just more of a community back then, and obviously, like this grudge match had kind of built up over Twitter. They knew it was going to be quite a humorous battle. Like me and Jeff have always been cool with each other, and it was just kind of like it was a fun event. We weren't the headline act, so there was no real pressure.
You were the first battle on, weren't you?
Yeah, I think we might have been on the second day, and it was just like I didn't really care, to be honest. I was like, if I lose to Jefferson Price, no one's going to watch it anyway, so I really don't care. But I'd been saying to him for absolutely months and months. I was like, you're going to choke, you know. He's like, nah, I won't. I've got it locked. I was like, nah, you're going to choke. You're going to choke. Oh my God, he's choking. What are you going to say about? Oh, he's choking. So I kind of psyched him into it. He does kind of. I think he does actually say in the battle. You said this would.
He does. He points you out. Yeah, he choked.
Probably could have said to him 1,000 times that he would choke.
Yeah, he chokes at the end of his third, and we'll get to that as well. Like I sort of came to Jefferson Price. My whole entry in Stone Flops kind of around the 4th birthday era. That's the first major event that I remember. So I kind of think that era, quite late into the general consensus of it. So I was very much living in kind of a post-mortem of Jefferson Price, kind of learning about him through defeat. Like what was he known as? Like was he promising upcomer, or what was the reputation?
Yeah, I think he was. Like he had an association with the Brown Bag All Stars, which is how he got the Soul Khan track.
Right.
And I think it was just an up and come out. It was like him and Mickey Worthless were both coming at this time where Lunacy was just getting big, and so more people were checking out the league.
Of course.
And he had quite a lot of related battles to Lunacy. He was at the same events and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He just kind of built his name up through that.
And you know, again, you open up the attack by calling him a fucking choke artist. Your rounds are perfect, and shout out Mickey, as you're saying. I'm not dissing retards. Shout out Harvey and Mickey Worthless. Was there beef between you at this point? Me
and Mickey Worthless had beef for like 2 solid years. Like you can see in the Pedro battle, everything I say, he hates it. He's like, I fucking hate this guy. And we literally just got drunk one weekend and sorted it all out.
Oh, that's good.
But up to that point, we absolutely hate each other. He was always calling me whack. He's like, definition shit. Like, he'd publicly say that. Wow. And I'd be like, Mickey, he's a fucking waste of time. He's terrible. He's ruining the league. Just because your battles are shit, you shouldn't interrupt mine. Yeah. That's, you know. So there was a bit of beef, but I mean, it's all sorted now. I'll probably do a King and the Ronalds battle. I was going to say, actually, you being on that makes sense, like, you know. Yeah, it just seems like a fun environment to be in. It is. I've been to a few of the events, and like, they've also got some genuine upcoming talent, like I don't know, Mackenzie or Omar. Those are both real sick battlers in there, so yeah, definitely worth checking out. Talking about his mom's pussy, it's like Blizzard, spotty as fuck, but somehow still big in grime. Yeah, like that one as well. I mean, Blizzard is a target, right? He was a star at that point. Yeah, he was this was the weekend where him and Mark Grist hit like 500,000. Oh, okay. And it was going up like 200,000 a day. And I remember talking to Mark Grist at the event and being like, what the fuck happened? Are you like paying for this stuff? And he was talking about quitting teaching as well, because it was getting like too big. Yeah. And it was like you do write, when you're battling, you do write a lot of lines that kind of panned out of the crowd that you don't necessarily like, but think this will get a reaction. And that Blizzard line was pretty much one of those.
Yeah, but, and the second round of this Jefferson Price battle, Jefferson Price second round, I actually really enjoy. I think it's probably the best round of the battle, actually.
Yeah.
Talking about how basically how innovative you are, as we said, the sort of, maybe the confidence battle, certainly the mirror match. But basically, instead of all of that, you basically got Jefferson Price instead of a title shot. Def, you're killing it. It's got angry on there. So it talks about your album should be called I'm Allergic to a Snare Drum.
Fair enough, because that is actually a really personal line, because when I was 6 years old I developed snare salalopecia, which is like a medical term that means that you're purposely off, like you're always offbeat.
Yeah.
Like even if you try and be on beat, you can't. That joke was one of them ones I probably should have kept in my head.
Paul's fucks, no one will touch the poor cunt like the share button on Pornhub.
Right, and that was from Wikipedia, and that's when it started, because I had that in my drafts, and I showed him after the battle that I had the exact same line, and he was like, yeah, did you Wikipedia that? And I was like, yeah. I was like, I was actually going to put it in my second, and it would have been the fucking weirdest battle ever.
So what is this Wikipedia thing surrounding you? Do you want to address that?
Yeah, just like a couple of lines I've got from Wikipedia, but I don't really care if people know that, like,
right.
Often when you're telling jokes,
plagiarism or...
Well, everyone does it, to be honest. Like the amount of times I've seen it in battles, like
sure.
If you watch like Sharon versus A-Class, like pretty much all of that is from Wikipedia.
Oh shit.
Like Roan does it quite a lot. Tony D said it against me in the title match. He had something about he'd walk on water. It's only because he can't swim.
Right,
and I suppose it is a bit lazy, but it's just you
is
hear
it like
these
steroids
things.
For battlers, like when you're trying to think of an original punch, it's like I'll just have a quick look at the bookmarks.
It's not even like going on, like Wikipedia is like kind of the thing it's been umbrellaed under, like and branded as, but it is literally just like someone tells you a joke and you think, how can I word that and interpret it into a battle so it's offensive to the person I'm battling. And it's not like I sit there and go on Wikipedia. It'll be like we'll be discussing something and someone will say, one of my friends, like Einstein's given me a couple of bars before that have turned out to be jokes from Wikipedia.
Sure.
And it is, but it's not like Wikipedia was where the joke originated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, but yeah, I suppose like I can see fans like get angry when battlers don't write 100% of their material, but it's very rare that a battler does, to be honest.
And I remember saying in one interview once, he's like, if you think battlers don't show each other their rounds before battles, then you're silly. Like, it's and like there was that culture, or still is that culture for you?
Yeah, not anymore. No, like pretty much I'd say my last 5 battles have been, I've probably told one person who isn't a rapper my rounds before doing them. Like the Saurus was pretty much just all shit that I just come up with and thought, yeah, that's good, I'll use that. And I didn't really tell anyone because I was so far, I hadn't battled for over a year by that point. And I was so far just removed from it that I didn't really know who would tell rounds to. So
never part of a clique or crew.
Like there used to be Team Skype with like me, Sus, and so it was just me, Sus and Soul. We just used to get Skype back when it worked, and just go through bars on Skype. Like,
okay.
Pretty much, I wrote all the Soul's battles on Skype. Pretty much. No, but we just go through rounds really, and it is good to get feedback from someone who knows what they're talking about before you perform it in front of an audience.
And in your second, you elaborate on the fact that Jefferson Price had tickets to battle in Sweden but missed his flight or something.
Yeah, he did. I remember he was meant to battle at this event that I think Pamphlet battled at. And they had it all booked up and he fucked up and missed his flight like an idiot.
That's
a little jibe there, kick a man while he's down.
Yeah, and
his big international debut was fucked up.
There's a stamp of 2012, 2011 all over this, that kind of crop, when basically Jeff sees you as the old guy in the league, who's been there for quite a while at this point, and he bigs up the current census. He talks of Soul's writing. You apparently could never do what Seuss is doing at 16. Look at Mickey's swag. He encourages you to, which I don't really understand that. He says fuck the, and then obviously a closer that reminds me a lot of something Heretic would write these days. Fuck the golden age of Don't Flock. The golden age is right now.
Which makes no fucking sense.
No, because golden age implies past. Like,
but he's saying the golden age is right now. Fuck the golden age. You know what I mean? It's like, it's so good though. But like, I think it was like an award-winning speech that like rallying the troops together.
No, for sure.
I was like Winston Churchill. We shall fight them on the beaches. Yeah, it was like, I liked it. I do like that round. I do like that line, but it doesn't make sense. And then he lost the battle because he tried to do some fucking bar about how the pyramids were built with electricity. I just used to take the piss out of him so much for that. I was like, why did you decide to end your third round on a bar about how the pyramids were made with electricity?
Yeah,
and he didn't really have a reason.
I mean, should have just ended there. The golden age is right now time. But yeah, he chokes a little, politely says sorry, excuse me. He doesn't choke bad. And another trademark of this round is something that you see a lot. Say URL, a lot of people used to call out Hitman Holler in various battles. And here we have Lunacy gets not called out, but kind of is used in a bar in reference to the context. Only way you're getting them Luna views if you have a glass conservatory. That's kind of one of those bars. It's not that impressive, but kind of to that sort of crowd, everyone goes crazy, like, So
well, it was in Leeds, and it was like Luna had just kind of got popular. Again, it's just the pandering to the crowd, thinking, what will a crowd get that will seem better because the person's here, which is basically the same strategy I took for Blizzard. A lot of lazy writing in that battle, a lot of lines that didn't really make sense, some off the internet, some, but at least Mickey's swag got mentioned. That's like the one thing. Like, Soul's writing amazing, Seuss is killing it for his age, Mickey Worthless has swag, so all those things still relevant today. Timeless bars. Right, exactly. The golden age is now. And then just finally, one final bar in your third as well. Think you'll die of heart disease. Oh no, is the DARPA chief? Is that a Saurus bar actually in the freestyle against Saurus, or do you say DARPA chief against Jefferson Price? I think it was against Jefferson Price.
It was against Jefferson Price, yeah. Because I just wanted to focus on that. You are kind of like, obviously it's a great Metal Gear Solid reference there, and you are quite into games, right? You do a few gaming reviews online.
Yeah. That's kind of what I'm trying to get into now.
That's cool, man.
But I'm too lazy to like constantly play games all the time. But yeah, of course, huge Metal Gear fan.
Who says Definition can't stream?
Exactly.
Best Metal Gear is Metal Gear 3, in my opinion, but they're all fucking dope.
I only played. Yeah, I know it's Snakey out. You know what I mean? You're trying to call it that. No, I mean, because they released two versions of it, didn't they? They released the 3D camera one.
Subsistence, yeah.
Yeah, and I only played the one with the shit camera.
I've never played the new one, actually. I've only played the old one.
Yeah, it was good, but that camera was horrendous. I probably like 4 the best, which 90-minute final cutscene.
Is it genuinely that long?
Yeah, genuinely.
It's genuinely that long, because I haven't got to the end.
The last, you probably never get there then, because it's 90 minutes long. I'm pretty sure the final cutscene in Metal Gear Solid 4 is, but I played that literally like start to finish in a day. I think it was a Thursday, and I just finished uni, and I just sat and played it.
Yep. No. And
bit of a loser.
No, of course, man. Of course not. Battle rap aren't for losers, right?
Exactly.
I don't know. Well, it's not for losers, because quickly, I just want to say you battled Saurus, King of the Donalds there, King of the Donalds.
Exclusive.
Yeah, could that be a new thing? I don't know. King of the about the Saurus, because I just mentioned it because it gets brought up in the battle as well. Really, really good battle, actually. You talk about he has the Bill Gates of battle rap. Everything you ever did, that was Mac. And then Saurus says, you're like John Lennon or Mark David Chapman when I start aiming at him. Like, it's just, that's a sick battle. It's only 2 minutes long. People should seek out this battle. It's a good one.
Yeah, it was weird like that. That's like my best freestyle performance ever.
You were good,
and
man.
it was actually good. That was on my birthday as well. So I was like, happy. It was like my wet dream of a birthday. Like most lads want like a threesome for their birthday, but I just wanted a Battlesaurus. So
yeah. And there's just a funny comment on that clash as well, because basically we should say it's you two, passing the mic back and forth, kind of a busy room. There's mirrors all around. It's kind of one of those.
It was about 3:00 in the morning as well. And, in Canada, so lots of jet lag, and it's 3:00 in the morning.
Lots of Bishop Grante as well. He's there.
Yep.
And the comment is, the one time there's a mirror in the room, Bishop doesn't take it down. And, that is sad to see. But I just wanted to focus on that because he takes mirrors down for some reason. I don't really know. But
but he's shook when he sees one in real life.
Yeah.
He's a mirror gangster. He's an internet gangster. A mirror warrior.
You put Jeff in a box, and Mickey's a retard.
Yeah,
that's just that fatal blow, not fatal blow, but glancing punch right at the end.
Yeah, just a bit of a slide dig.
Yeah, and quite a few people give it to you. Archaic gives it to you. JC is a bit more kind of his verdict is a bit sketchy and interesting. MA has Jeff more entertaining. Blizzard gives it to you. Like, did you think Jeff won in the end? Really?
No, because he fucked up.
Right.
So it's like a job interview, and you practice for ages and ages, and if you fuck up in the interview, then you don't deserve to win. As far as I'm concerned, I didn't like his lack of professionalism. He should have put more effort into learning his bars. He's facing me, Definition legend.
Right. Choking is actually...
sorry, I thought I'd cut out there.
No.
I was going to go for a massive speech and just think you weren't recording it. So yeah.
And choking, that is a real no-no for you.
But I think you should kind of put effort into learning your stuff. So
you're very against phones in battles.
Oh yeah, but
I hate it, man.
Yeah, it just takes you out, isn't it? It spoils the illusion. Unless it's used in like a creative way. I'm sure 100 Bullets did it creatively recently.
Yeah, that's misdirection or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So he kind of did like a whole thing there. But yeah, it was just kind of most of the time. I remember Luna doing against O'Shea, and like I said against O'Shea at the time in the episode, like it was kind of like finding out the Tooth Fairy ain't real. Like Luna's reading off his phone. Like,
yeah, you still should present it as a freestyle, even if you're not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's kind of like in Scribble Jam, people didn't even have phones. It was simpler times. But we'll push on to a battle which has done really, really well in terms of views, really, really well in terms of a concept as well. This is you and Pamphlet, Batman versus Joker.
I've heard of Bane, Freeze, Penguin, the Riddler, Two-Face and Doomsday, but who's this? The Kitty Fiddler? Looking like a crackhead Bette Midler. Always robbing Gotham bars. Joker in the pack, so you bout to watch me drop the cards. When I tell you all how he really, really got the scars, shaving in the bath when Kevin Costner was his bodyguard.
For like Dark Knight Rises, was it? Or was it just done to kind of anticipate any future Batman franchise?
Well, Pamphlet originally wanted to do Bruce Wayne versus Wayne from Wayne's World. But I went to Pamphlet and was like, we'll do Batman versus Joker. The movie's coming out this year. It'll get views. And he was like, but we could do Batman versus Bruce Wayne versus Wayne's World. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, Bruce Wayne versus Wayne's World. I'm like, well, one, Bruce Wayne's not the most interesting character.
No.
Like, Batman's going to have a lot more insults. Two, what? The last Wayne's World movie was about 20 years ago. No, leave it. It took fucking ages for us to convince Pamphlet to do Batman versus Joker. He hadn't even seen, like, The Dark Knight.
Right.
So he had to go off and do his research. And then it was just... they wanted to release it on like some weird arbitrary date, like April 7th or something, and I keep saying to them, no, release it on the day the movie releases, please release it on the movie day. And it took ages and ages and ages, and eventually they did. And then I remember I went in to see the movie. I went to work in the morning, then the battle got released, and then I went to see the film, and I come out and I looked at my phone just to check the views, and it was on 50,000 views.
Wow.
In like back then, that was unheard of. Like in a day.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Well, you guys do it right, because it starts with just the Joker. It just pans up to him as a cold open, and then it begins.
Yeah.
Like there's no there's no confusion to what this is. You click on it, you watch it, you go into it. It's really, really good. But you're a Batman head, right? You're a big Batman fan.
I wasn't as much back then, though. That's the thing.
Oh, okay.
That's what got me into Batman.
Oh, really?
Just doing like the research and reading the comics. I know the battle itself isn't that heavy on references and stuff like that.
Are you reading Rebirth?
I am, yes.
Okay, I read the Justice League Rebirth yesterday. That wasn't very good.
Me and Bam Lam got this shared account on the DC comic app, so he tends to buy them and I just read them. But
nice. Yeah, I need to read the Batman one, but
they called there's a character in Batman's one called Gotham.
Wow,
and that's his name.
And
they're scraping the barrel now.
Yeah, slightly. I recently read the Court of Owls storyline. That is
so good. Yeah,
that is so fucking good. Like, I was a bit kind of dismissive of Batman, but when I've read that, it's just basically Batman uncovers the Illuminati behind Gotham. It's fucking dope.
Exactly. Yeah, and when they have the spinning comic, I love when they do stuff like that, where the reader, like when Batman gets drugged, and the comic just goes fucking mental. There's like upside down pages.
Yeah.
And it's good to have like interaction with a reader where the reader doesn't know what's going on, and the character doesn't know what's going on.
Completely, man. I think Alan Moore as well, a lot of his paneling does that, really. He mimics the effects of the characters in a clever way, beyond just kind of, boundaries and speech marks and stuff like that. But
exactly.
No, shout out Batman. Like a kind of like from a film perspective and cultural perspective, I do like him, but comics wise, there's some genius writing behind his character. Like, I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, Batman, whatever. It's like, no, seriously, stuff like the Long Halloween and the Killing Joke and stuff like that. And I don't know if you read Gotham PD. I've just started reading that. That's quite good as well.
That's kind of like
it's kind of noirish, It's kind of like the Office.
Yeah. Well, I think that the most attractive thing about Batman, that sounds so gay. The best thing about Batman to me is like he can be adapted to like everything. Like you can do a Lego movie on Batman. Yeah. You can, like in the same year as you can have Batman vs Superman come out, which is like the darkest film Batman. You can have like a light-hearted one for kids come out as well, and you can pretty much put them in any story, to be honest. And yeah, just researching for the battle, I just fell in love with the comics, really.
That's crazy, man. I always thought you were a big fan and you had pushed for this. I didn't realise this was the start.
Yeah, I was like a fan of it, but I didn't have a comic book collection like now. I've got like a shelf full of stuff.
Oh, dope, man.
And like there's some comics on there that are worth like £80 and like...
That's more than a train fare from Jefferson Price, man. That's
exactly. So I'm kind of a bit of a gimp for it now.
Those are the big deluxe editions, the hardbacks, that
like signed stuff and like Comic-Con exclusives and shit like that.
Wow. Okay.
So kind of wasted my money a bit.
No, man. It's like that's the great thing about comic books. It's such a good investment to revisit. Yeah. They are just like they really don't get old when you reread them. Like I just love going back to ones I like. But you battled Pamphlet. And Pamphlet Begins is a 2-rounder between the both of you, theme 2-rounder. Bruce Wayne, you sound like two gay men. Pamphlet just has that cut to the chase punch that he's always really good at. I'll beat you with every item you were handed on a plate. Cut your tongue in half with the knife my dad made my mother laugh with. He had obviously the Mentalist is kind of a common line as well.
The Mentalist, like such a well-known bar as well. Like whenever I'm with Pamphlet, anyone who quotes Pamphlet says that Mentalist bar.
Yeah, I mean, I had Pamphlet on recently, and that guy, man, every time I watch his battle, I just appreciate his talent more. He's such a good writer. Really just knows how to, you've battled before, haven't you? And this kind of gets mentioned with the gay joke thing, but this is just a good matchup yet again.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed that. Like, on the day, it was terrible. Like, that battle was, how they say Star Wars was saved in editing?
Yeah.
Like, that battle was saved in editing because it was, like, we did the first round, not really much reaction.
Right.
I walked off for 10 minutes while everyone stood still, got changed at the back of the room, so, like, anyone could turn around and just see me getting changed in this stupid Batman suit. Come out, everyone's, like, pissed off, like, why am I still here? This is the fucking... shittest battle ever. And I remember walking up to ZT at the end and being like, be honest, was it shit? And he was like, honestly, like, you better hope it doesn't get released. But yeah, they just edited it really well. There was a bit with Pete Cashmore in that didn't make the final cut, where I walked in, I was like, where is he? and Pete Cashmore was meant to go, I swear I don't know, and I go, swear to me, and that was like it.
Right.
And he'd been on the red wines, and I told him like 7 or 8 times this, and I walked in and I went, where is he? And he just went, oh, fucked up, I don't know.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the bloopers.
It felt horrendous on the day. It literally felt like the worst battle ever. But then obviously it got edited well. Yeah. And took off.
I'm surprised that people are so, what ZT said, because, like, I mean, again, I'm imagining how much you've been edited, because it's not like the content was different. The content's still the same, and, like, sort of your approach, the Joker. You look quite dapper, by the way, as Bruce. Like, it kind of works quite well, actually. Like,
It was back when I was a bit fat, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Heath Ledger approach to him, showed your bitch, disappear a pencil trick, and then that bit when you get meta, when you go Christian Bale on Zeus, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's quite
that was like the only way. I'm so glad that Christian Bale did that run, because I didn't have a finisher for that round until that happened, and I'm like, right, I'll just storm off. We needed to have a reason for me to leave and get changed. And obviously Christian just helped me out there. He's obviously a big fan.
Bailed you out, some would say. But...
Yeah. Ooh, wordplay. Smirk.
I really like Pamphlet as well. Is how are you defending the place? You look like you've got a licorice flavoured condom stretched across your face. Which is really strong. I represent the South because I come here often. You represent the North because you're always fucking Robin.
A lot of Marvel DC line though.
You got to learn who he is, Pam. You got to learn.
Yeah, he said.
Yeah, that's a big.
I told him months in advance as well. I was like, DC make Batman. He was like, no one will notice. I was like, yeah, they will. Probably will. I'd probably change that. He was like, it'll be fine. I'll change it.
Bat life,
shows it will. Bad times. That's why it's not on a million.
Yeah. Take the tea out of Gotham or go ham.
Yeah, it's alright.
Daylight bar. Like, not in the sense that Daylight wrote that, but I'm saying that feels like a Daylight bar. Like, I think he did something similar to that against Head Ice, but I'm not saying he copied you, but he just has that same kind of...
Well, he obviously did.
Yeah.
Have you seen Mask of the Phantasm before?
I haven't actually, no.
There's a sign that says Gotham, and it's like a neon sign, and the old classic, like, rundown...
Right, yeah, flickering.
It's flickering. It was like, ooh, go ham. And of course, go ham back then was like a big saying.
Right.
Everyone loved it. They bloody loved it. So yeah, a bit of my research paying off there.
He wraps it dark. He wrapped it Dark Knight. This was this is a good battle, and again, I remember it coming out and being well received and people really liking it. It continues to grow, and no doubt, kind of the recent Dawn of Justice gave it a push, and probably subsequent films might do as well. But it's good for Don't Flop. They've done a lot of failures on the character battle debate, but this one works well. Yeah,
I can't actually think of another character battle that went well, to be honest.
No, Grinch and Santa was shit. The Breaking Bad one was terrible. The EU one, Jay Dillon, I know it's not character per se, but that was quite a good one.
Yeah, actually, I remember watching that. It was really good. I got asked to do for Clash Money. I got asked to do because I know Dialect and Unanimous had a Batman vs Superman battle. I got asked to do it for them, but I think it's just one of those kind of lightning in a bottle scenarios where it's best to it happens once and then
I don't know if
it's kind of best to leave it.
I don't know if you're familiar with E. Farrell. I had him on the show.
Oh yeah, him and
Daylight we discussed
it,
and he was just like he was an upcoming guy at the time, and this Daylight battle was kind of what broke him, and he was saying, Daylight messaged me like a couple of weeks before saying, yo, we're going to do this as Batman Superman. He was like, you don't disagree with Daylight, you know what I mean? If you don't do it, it's going to fuck you up antic wise. So yeah, they went there. It's a good battle as well. They do it kind of 2 rounds normal and then character round at the end, and they both look great in their costumes, and Daylight's Batman is a totally different take than you take on it. But in the same way that Grant Morrison goes different ways to Scott Snyder, we need the personas behind it, and it ends with a hug as well, which is what you want to see.
Definitely.
So your next battle we're getting to, which in my eyes, like a lot of the people I've had on the show seem to concur with this, in my eyes the greatest ever Don't Flop event, 4th birthday. I just think in terms of like battles that went off and were good, and the atmosphere, like it is kind of, if you're objective with it and total up victories and losses, like most of these battles are good to watch. Like, not a lot of them kind of even petered out or were bad. Like, a lot of them were very, very good. And It's against Mark Grist.
Jehovah, Sold Reefer, Ice Cube, Ice Tea, Head Ice. Them OGs are now scared there's a new badass. Mark Grist. Rogue teacher.
Now, obviously, you didn't get the title shot, but you got Mark Grist, the biggest feud guy in the league. Did you actually see it as a slight, or were you just happy to be battling Grist?
No, I wanted to battle Grist.
Right.
Like, he was getting loads and loads of views then. And I just thought, like, I'm going to take the risky option. Like, I don't want an international. I want, like, a UK versus UK battle. That's going to be good. Like, because the event was pretty much all internationals. And I just thought, like I'm pretty sure it's paid off, because I think that's one of the highest viewed battles from the event. And it wasn't always. It was quite low down, and then it started to gain stuff over the years. Whereas the other ones haven't picked up views. Like Mark Grist, people tend to go back and watch his stuff. Like his fans are hardcore fans who will watch his stuff. Whereas like anyone else from the event, people will watch the battle, but in a year's time they're not going to revisit it. And I thought Mark Grist kind of had that effect. So that's why I took that one, and I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna beat the shit out of him, and I'm just gonna use that to make sure that I get the title shot. And like it was a fun atmosphere for it. Like Mark messaged me like a couple of weeks before saying, don't mention these things in the battle, which were quite personal to him. Like it's fair enough that I didn't mention, like I don't want to say on the podcast what they were. And I was like, honestly, Mark, if you think that's the strategy I'm taking, like you're completely wrong. I'm just doing this battle to have fun, really.
Right.
And then on the train down, like as I was pulling into the station, he like just before London, he was like standing in my window, like stopped right where he was, and I was just looking at him like fucking hell. And he just got on the train and we just sat down. We walked to the event together. We had a right laugh with it. I think we were second on or something.
Right.
But yeah, it's one of my favourite battles, to be honest. I think I did kind of overdo the teacher bits, especially when I went on to become a teacher after the battle as well. And I remember Rizzle kind of voted us out, so he voted for Mark, so I can't really show that battle off like, oh look, these famous people know who I am. But yeah, I really had fun with it. I'm glad he choked as well. That's another one where it's like a choke kind of helped us out.
It did. But Grist is one of those guys. Love Grist. Gonna have him on the show soon. He agreed to be on. That'll be a really, really good episode. But he's hit and miss, isn't he? Really, I think quite rightly, someone was telling me recently that he kind of was saying, to other people that he felt he'd struck fire with the Blizzard thing, and everyone thought that he'd always be. But he's like, that's like a bottle in the lightning. Like that performance just happens once. You know what I mean? You can't expect someone's second battle to set the bar. Like it's just kind of it's going to be a different kind of battle here. And this is his first proper battle back after Zayn. Obviously, battled Zayn after Blizzard. You go into that, but since then he doubled up. Don't Flop had a huge year. They've done a lot of festivals that year. He doubled up with Mixie twice. He battled Mickey Worthless and Soul at festivals, Latitude and Edinburgh individually. And, this is his first proper battle back, and this is a big, big clash between both of you, and just a great sculpt for you, isn't it? And Grist, I wish he was a little better here. He's quite patchy, isn't he? His performance kind of runs out of gas a little bit. Yeah,
it does spoil the battle. I think it would have a lot more views if he had been better, but then I probably would have lost. And it's kind of like, what do I value more, like a win against Mark Grist, who's regarded really highly, or views of me maybe losing? So I'll stick with the win, Mark. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, he doesn't do badly, but one of the things you forget about Mark Grist is that he's very dirty. Like, he loves to go into deep sexual humour, and not just kind of sexual humour, like kind of slightly weird humour, where he's talking about in his second...
Uncomfortable.
About you, like, basically fucking all the dogs around your neighbourhood until your cock resembles feta. You, like, going to Crufts to just, like, fuck all these dogs and, like, impregnate all of them. And it's, like, weird. It's like...
I don't know how he found out about that.
I just don't understand what his fixation was, and comes with bars. You pack the heat of a rusty unplugged kettle, but it's a little awkward, especially in the second. One of the things that I noticed was he kind of goes in on the inevitable Wikipedia angle. We kind of the setups for your punches are cut and pasted and stuff like that. And there's about a minute of the round left, and he performs it fine. I mean, you know, stumble here and there, doesn't choke or anything. But there's no response from the audience. There's complete silence. He doesn't get one punch out. Like
he's just not confident, really, is he? Like
he just forgot.
I think he knows he's lost.
Yeah, I think he already knew. Yeah, I did think he already knew.
Yeah, I mean, it is a shame. Obviously, I'd love to have like a better battle with him, but
yeah,
it is what it is. You can't.
Not
every battle's going to be amazing. I did get my suit ironed for it as well, which is a bit annoying.
Yeah, you look crisp, man. You've
got a Monopoly hat on and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, man, classic.
It's just
people just watch it just for that hat.
Yeah. We all know gingers have souls. Speed it up. I just dissed you, ginger asshole. Like, is that the first speed it up?
I think that was as well. You know, I was going to big myself up there.
That's
I think
crazy.
That was the first speed it up.
I've not heard many of those like 4 years since either. Like, they haven't really caught on. But
no,
you know,
because I've always been someone who kind of doesn't like to do like I remember when they used to be stop and pause, like "I Hate You," Drake's song.
Yeah.
And then there was slow it down, so it was just like, oh, these are so bad. Like when the people who invent it do it, they do it really well.
Yeah.
Because they've invented it to do it, and then you just get so many people imitating it. Like slow it down was getting so annoying. Like literally everyone was doing it, and it was terrible. And I was just thinking, what's the opposite of that I can do? And it was to speed it up.
Yeah.
And yeah, it worked well.
Yeah, it did. You know, Mark again kind of doesn't really have any bars in the third. He says, "Your only body bank's a colostomy," which people kind of enjoy. It's not a bad line here. But, you know, again, he seems to work on the concept spoken word round, which he did against Mopes Prob as well, where he's basically, he does all these bars in his third, and you can feel that there's something tying it together thematically, but unless he would tell you, you'd never get it. And at the end,
you wouldn't give a shit even if you did know.
He reveals, and audience members, get ready, this is what Mark does in his third. He does a whole verse where he doesn't use the letter I. Is that impressive? I don't get it. Like, I is a very common letter. You could dock any letter from it and it wouldn't be that impressive. Psychosis says in the judging that you think he heard him say passion. He does say passion, psychosis. He says a lot of other words as well throughout it. You know, he says the word did as well, which has I in it. Right?
No, he says he dotted 4. He was doing because I wear glasses.
Oh, okay.
He did 4 I's throughout the battle.
Okay.
4 letters, 4 words with I in it. Which, nice one.
Is that? I mean, you corrected me, but I'd still like just Marky. Just why don't you do some more like Blizzard bars?
Hit him with the insults.
Yeah. Just, come on, you must have some leftover schoolyard. No, but no, I guess not. You know, and it's sometimes weird in battle rap when you see 2 different battlers from completely different walks of life do the same bar coincidentally. So Mark delivers this kind of like you just got beaten by the alpha bet kind of line, and I don't know if you're aware of None. He's a guy on the come up in URL. He's been in the PGs and stuff. He actually deserves probably more shine that he's getting. He's really good, but he has exactly the same bar. He just as an alpha seems like I'm the alphabet, and obviously it's delivered in a much more visceral street way. But it's weird to see that both these disparate minds have grasped onto the same pun. Like, you must have seen so many battles where you're like, I've heard this bar before, or I've heard a variation on that.
Yeah, thousands. Yeah. Like, I think it's pretty much come full circle now where I can't watch a battle without seeing a line that I've heard before at least twice. Are
there any new writers that you enjoy?
Heretic I quite like. Shocks. Kojay's really, really good.
Kojay's great,
yeah, but to be honest, I don't pay that much attention to the scene anymore. But those are the 3 people that I've seen that really stand out. I don't really watch it. Like, I haven't seen Mackenzie yet.
He's good. He's very good.
I've heard he's really good, but I've just never got around to watching him really.
Yeah.
Oh, Frankie Fraser's really good as well.
Yeah.
His stuff's really good. But yeah, I'm kind of disconnected from it, so I've seen him a couple of times. Yeah,
he's absolutely brilliant. He's a really good writer as well. But you end the battle, calling out title shot being required. You say that the battle that you're most looking forward to is in the interview with Steph afterwards. The battle you're most looking forward to the day is the title shot of that day, which is O'Shea Tony D, because you want to see who you're battling next. It was was everyone just thinking, this is Def's next to claim?
Contact me or anything saying that when they just announced it on the status, like, Definition has got the next title shot, like.
Oh right.
And And that was really, I remember just sitting there thinking, shit, like they didn't even tell me like this was happening. They announced it before I even agreed to it. But yeah, I was just like really happy with it. Like it felt like all the hard work had paid off, and then I had a month where I just stopped giving a shit about Battle, and by the time the title shot rolled around, I kind of didn't want it. Yeah, so
yeah, well, we'll get onto the battle.
It's kind of like a be careful what you wish for, you might get it scenario.
And like it, you know, talk of title shots is all well and good, but there's also those battles on the Gracious demo channel where battles go to die, where there are some fucking great battles. One of those being a battle of 4th birthday. Was this the day before or the second day?
This is the same day.
Same day. You teamed up with Soul, basing Chris Leeson's Zen, which is two teams that have never teamed up together. 3 days prep. I mean, how did this one come about?
I forgot who dropped out. Someone couldn't make it, and Soul didn't have a battle. And I was just like, oh, you know what, we could do like a 2-on-2. And I don't think Chris Leeson Zen had one either. And they were just like, they wanted free entry to the event. And like the best way to get free entry is to do a battle. So yeah, I just put my name forward. I think I seen that someone had dropped out. I contacted her and said, oh yeah, I'll do another battle if you want me and Solo to do a 2-on-2. And then he heard from Chris Lees and Zen, who also wanted to do one, and it just kind of got set up that way. And then we just thought, oh shit, what have we done?
Yes, it is a weird battle. It's not a bad battle. It's got a lot of good energy to it. It's got a nice style clash as well. Obviously, Chris Lees and Soul would eventually go on to have a legitimate battle at Revival. Pretty good battle. Still quite contested, actually, who actually won that.
And they keep trying to set me versus Chris Lees up, but just... it's not really a battle I'm interested in. I don't think it's a good style clash. Like,
no, I do think Chris Lee should battle some bigger people though on Don't Flop again. Like, you know, there's no way he's not deserving of that. The guy had a fucking title shot against Tony D. Like, you know, he does deserve those bigger people, and I think there are some people still left in the league that they'd give a good clash to, no doubt. I think that'd be pretty cool. But these are two teams that are new to it, and you know, Soul's quite funny in the first as well. Whereas you just kind of burp instead of a bar. You just kind of
I mean, really bad.
Did you have any kind of ideas coming into this, or were you just completely just flying?
I was just flying. I was literally like, Soul was coming up with this really complex stuff, and I was just like, I was meant to have a battle with Disaster actually, and that never happened. And I had some notes from that which were pretty much just the generic racist stuff.
Right.
So go racism. So which I just pulled out, and just so all the racist bars in there are pretty much stuff I had for Disaster.
Right.
And it was, I thought we got our ass kicked, to be honest, the day, but watching it back, I think we won. But I probably shouldn't have said that I thought they won to their faces, because the interview after was so fucking bad. Like,
yeah, it's a bit awkward.
Yeah, there's like really like, you
Chris
guys
Lees
need
is a
to,
bit of a kind of, you know, he needs to be a bit more humble. Like,
yeah, I just think he just needs to stop taking it as seriously and just realize like, it's a battle and no one, it's like 3 days prep. You know what I mean? No one's going to remember it. That battle was never going to be the best battle of the weekend.
No.
It's not really important. We all, like, other than me, everyone else didn't have a battle, and they only took it to get free entry to the event. Mm-hmm. So, like, if you lose it, you know, it doesn't get... And I love how, like, they're like, not to take anything away from them, but I want to battle someone good next time.
Yeah.
It's just like, look, there's like so much stuff in there, like they backhand like insult us so much, but yeah, I don't really care.
No, fair enough, man. And it's got like 30k, so it's been viewed quite a lot for a demo battle, so it's doing quite well.
Yeah, and it was, the worst thing was we said we'd never go on the demo battle, and then Soul Punch Caustic.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It was just like, right, I'm putting it on the demo battle.
That makes sense.
So,
and speaking of Soul, like, she has a really good battle in the second against Zen. Life's hard, mate. I seen you on the news for being fostered by some rich white lady who's like, he's cute, can we adopt you? Now you work in a kebab shop, or if they drop meat, they'll drop you. Gone from what's he doing with Madonna to what's he doing with Madonna?
Yeah,
which nice. Was really well delivered there by Soul. And Soul's got this kind of awareness that it's kind of a bit goofy, but it's done really well. But we push off from 4th birthday to the next major event of Don't Flop. This is Distinction, where you battle Tony D.
Bladstro, being a lad is my right. I've had more shags in a night than you fucking had in your life. He remembers calling hip-hop new school when Tupac was alive. You're so old, your memories are in black and in white. Like your dad and his wife.
Now, huge battle, right? But you were saying you weren't really caring about it?
Yeah, it was like, I didn't really want the title, to be honest, at that point, because I knew I was going to start going into teaching.
Right.
So I knew I'd probably have to stop battling anyway, and I would be like a title holder that couldn't battle. Not to say that I didn't put my all into the battle, because I did. But it's just kind of like, I do like Tony D, and it's harder to battle someone that you like.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of felt like I'd lost it before. Like, I have this weird premonition thing of knowing whether I'm going to win or lose a battle when it gets confirmed. And I've always got it right. I've always been like, right, I'll lose to him. Okay, I'll beat him. And I knew I'd lose to Tony, basically.
It's hard to beat, isn't it?
Yeah, he's really good though.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, and I just I think I went on the racist angle a bit too much, and it was just a bit.
We'll get to the rounds. This event is one of those last ones in my eyes to have that like old school Don't Flop feel.
Yeah.
It's just kind of not the death of Don't Flop. I know it's just a new husk that the pupa is moving on to, but still, it's, you know what I mean. I kind of miss the giant crowd. Everyone there's recognisable. Everyone looks quite young still, you know. Yeah,
I was my fattest then.
Right.
That was like the video I seen. I was like, right, I need to go on a diet now, like yesterday.
And your adoption of the whole top boy lad. I mean, this has been part of your persona, but never so explicitly.
Yeah, it was weird how that kind of evolved as well. It just like seemed to be going off, so I just thought, I'll do more of these. But my mate's band was actually called Top Boy around here, and he was like, I'll give you 50 quid if you wear this t-shirt in your battles, which is why I started wearing it all the time.
Oh, wow.
So like every time I put this t-shirt on, I get £50. So
doubling your battle fee.
Exactly.
The event's one of the ones as well. It's got that beat. Remember that intro beat? It's like, "Yo, Lead C, make some fucking noise!" And it's like, you know,
and it just goes wild.
Yeah, it's just, no, but it's the actual beat itself with the guitars, like, you know. It's pretty cool actually when it comes in. You know, it's your 5th year. Tony D had said against Chris Lees in a later battle that he'd been around for like 18 months and got his title shot. Like, you know, this is it's a bit of a style clash, isn't it? I mean, it's one of those battles that's kind of like, you'd never actually set it up if the title wasn't dictating it.
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say that, like, that battle would never happen if it wasn't the title. And people are just clamoring for, like, right, we need to get someone who needs to have a title match. Basically, the title holder needs to have someone that they can battle.
Yep.
Which is pretty much how all title matches are set up. It's just like, it's not decided on like, is this going to be a good battle? It's just who's been doing okay, because we've got a list of names of people who should get a title shot, and we need to pick one of these. And I think it was just that. I can't even like. I know he wrote the battle in like 3 weeks or something. I think I did about 2 months on it, which is quite bad, but. Yeah, it was just kind of a style clash. I remember MA was like going over the judges with me on the day, and I was kind of like, I can't see these people voting for me unless I'm like absolutely amazing.
Well, just to clarify, those judges being unanimous, T-Dash, Euphorical, MA, Matter, Blizzard, and Im. And we'll get to their decisions in a sec, but I just want to go through these rounds. You're playing off Tony with a fake handshake.
Yeah.
At the start, you know, putting it on that level. He works in a care home, according to you. You call it spacker training.
Yeah, that was probably the line that got me sacked as well. Genuinely.
And that happened so early in the battle as well. It's not like a minute to disguise it.
I think that was genuinely the line that got me fired.
To be fair, if that wasn't the line, your follow-up about using children's tears as lube is pretty horrific. You know, imagery. It's really offensive. Like first round, actually, the whole sort of always stand up for black people as well. Like, you know.
Which when you're writing it, you don't think it's that offensive till you put it all together.
Right.
It is weird watching it back just to be like, because I was purposely trying not to be offensive that battle, and like I was trying to take like a moral high ground and be like, I'm not gonna stoop to this level to win a battle, even if it is for a title shot. And then, of course, I ended up stooping at that level pretty much.
What was the ITV thing that you mentioned? I think I remember this. Tony D was on ITV for Don't Flop.
Yeah. Yeah, he battled, like, obviously every time TV wants to get involved in battles, they come up with some shit idea.
Oh, God, yeah.
That never works, so it never gets released. And Tony D battled some 90-year-old man or something at an event.
Right.
And ITV thought that would be, like, the thing that makes battle rap mainstream.
Yeah, I don't think it ever came out.
No, thank God.
No, but
I'm sure it was amazing.
Yes, I'm sure one day Minnesota Luke or someone will unearth it.
So the WRC stolen tape.
Yeah, Tony D's
shit,
rounds for this
so
old
good.
man are just like insane. His flips.
Yeah.
Like,
Olden tapes.
you'll see, Niall. Like, yeah. So Tony, the older. Now, Deff is such a joy for Tony D, isn't it, as a name to flip?
Yeah. Oh, we loved that. He loved it.
He really did.
I think I had 14 name flips.
He was like
in
a
there.
pig in shit, man. He's fucking Deff name flips. And to be fair, he does it well. But like, you know, Tony D's one of those guys where you just love to see him get to work. Like, he's such an imaginative puncher that I'm like, okay, here's the name. Just flip Deff however you want, and like you come up with some great shit here. Although the problem is, and you, Oracle, touched on this. His first round isn't the strongest round to begin with. I'm a big Tony D fan, and I think his best moments are later than this in his career. I think this is just as he's getting good in my eyes. I think kind of, you know, maybe Lease onwards.
He picks up steam, I think, throughout the battle though.
Yeah.
But I remember his first round, I was just standing there like, yeah, I've won this round at least.
Yeah, no, I've got you winning the first because I mean, you know, he has like beat Deff like Chemo, cheated Deff like James Bond villains in a monologue, James Bond in the villain's monologue. You know, he goes in on your real deal performance. Oh, the hands of time. You know,
wow. Don't need to say anything about that.
Check out the battle if you need to. Not his strongest, to say. And again, he's using his. It's not a catchphrase because he only uses it in one battle, but he used it a lot in this battle. It's like, you ain't worthy to wear my crown. It's like it's not kind of a good. And you, Oracle himself, is like, Tony's a shitty line, and it is a shitty line, and I don't really know why Tony does it. You come with a lot of punches here in the second. Call him Coney D, which is, if anyone remembers that was a huge. I remember you dropping that bar when the battle came out. I was like, it just kind of happened, that kind of thing recently. So obviously, if you said
that was relevant
Coney,
for the time.
2012, people were like, what? Like, you know.
Stop Coney. The hashtag that changed the world for about 2 weeks.
Invisible Children, was it called, or something like that? It was some sort of charity, I believe.
Which sounds really cool.
Yeah,
that sounds like a Marvel property now.
Sort of like an X-Men spin-off. Like, like, you know,
Invisible Children. Wow.
Where
Can't wait to see that. I've been waiting since 2012 for that movie.
They do a blackout line. You heard there was a blackout in Leeds today, and then you sort of implicate Tony mishearing it. It's like, a blackout? I hope he escapes. Tony ain't happy with that, but he deals with it. He got a window cleaner to fix his computer.
Yeah.
Old man doesn't understand technology bars. It's something you got to deal with. Double L does it well against Tony D. As something like, I went into PC World and he tried to swallow a tablet or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Just that kind of
classic battle shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and then Tony D, great wordplay thinkers, think alike. So Thesaurus had a Paul Bearer line. Tony D has a Paul Bearer line. And then he talks of basically saying that if you could rap, you would have been given a webcam or drops by now. Do you ever want one of those, or is that
no?
But you did rap, didn't you? You released rap music.
Yeah, I did. I do like enjoying music. It's just I have a music degree and stuff.
Right.
It's just I don't like everything that comes with it.
Yeah.
Like promoting it, and I'm not that bothered about rapping on a webcam. Like, I don't see how that solidifies you as a rapper, and I'd have to go to London to do it. And it's just kind of, it's just like you've got to like write a verse for it, and I just don't really have the time. Like, at that time as well, I was so battle focused that like a webcam to me would have seemed like a waste of time. It would have taken away from battling.
Yeah. No, in time. And
I'm sure they'd only been doing webcams for like 6 months.
That's true.
That as well.
It's definitely not as established as.
It's like when like DNA, like it's weird how stuff gets used against you that isn't relevant. Like DNA said to me, like, deficit, don't flop, views falling off, you part of the deficit. And I was like thinking, how am I the reason that Don't Flop's losing views when I haven't battled for 2 years? Like, if I am the reason, it's because no one's watching because they're all fans of me now. Yeah, so it is weird how angles get used on you. Like, battler, when someone's saying something to you, often you'll think, like, when people react, you'll be like, I don't understand why that's got a reaction because I don't care about that. And they're like, oh, he's getting them there, he's never done a web ham, he's getting them. And I'm like, yeah, I really don't want to. Like, if I want to do a web ham, I probably would have done a one myself where I'm just rapping like a verse. I know I sound like I'm really, you know what, maybe it did get to us because I sound like I'm really salty about this angle. It stayed with me for all these years. How I never gonna, how dare you? Yeah, but yeah, like, yeah, I suppose it's how you word them and how you present it. Like, obviously, most of the stuff that's said in battles isn't true. So, yeah, I suppose hats off to them, and I probably should be giving them credit to them.
There is that, and there is the question in more modern battle rap: can you win on fake personals? Like, if we're battling and I just make something up about you, and it's completely not true, but I sell it really well to the point where the crowd are like, "Is this true?" Like, you know, like that's a weird strategy, right?
Yeah, like, it's weird with Jeff because if Jeff hadn't have reacted the way that he did, he'd probably be battling now. Because I know for a fact that there's a battle, I'll probably tell you off air, but there's a battle where the guy definitely cheated on his girlfriend and it gets brought up in the battle for a round and he just reacts like he's making it up and he's still battling now.
What?
He might even be a King of the Dot title holder at one point.
What?
Yes.
And now,
so it just depends how it's presented.
Yeah, I suppose so. But yeah, I mean, can we just talk?
It's not Roan, by the way.
No,
the previous title holder. But yeah, it's just presentation, really.
And just the Jefferson Prize thing, just seeing as you were there, like, I mean, Sol kind of recapped it for us, but that was a pretty, like, crazy moment, right?
Yeah, I remember saying to Jeff, like, before the battle, like, we knew that Caustic was going to use that angle.
Right.
And Jeff come over, was like, I've had a word. He says he's not going to do it. And I was like, are you fucking stupid?
Yeah.
Like, he will definitely do it. I was like, I'm your friend and I'd do it. So he will definitely do it. He's like, no, he's not going to do it. And then, he went on to do it. And then Jeff's car got clamped in London that day as well, which cost him £80. So, bad day all round.
Jesus Christ. I mean, yeah, it's... I've told people about it since, just as kind of a conversation piece, like, because they often, what is battle rap, blah blah, what is controversies, and it's a crazy moment. I mean, you know how an app has gotten big because the name of the app becomes a verb, to Snapchat, to tweet, to get Jefferson Price is a thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and it's still mentioned. You know,
exposed, like, murdered, never come back.
Just like, it's been in so many bars, so many references. Like, I really need to make an archive of all the kind of lineage afterwards because the overflow is crazy. But Tony, you know, again, admits that he hates slogans at the end of his second, but what does he do? He ends with a
slogan.
Ends with the wear my crown. You don't have to do it, Tone. No one's, you know, I don't know why you feel obliged, but, you know, whatever. We all like to have end our rounds in some sort of way. And yeah, your phone's really good as well. So old your memories in black and white, like your dad and his wife. Nice Derek flip as well, because he kind of accuses you with the whole voice thing of going there, and you've definitely got that in your arsenal.
Yeah.
Like The Sopranos, and Tony does not give a shit. We don't need to know the final scene to know he got killed in it. I'm a big Sopranos fan. I mean, is Tony dead?
I don't even watch it. I just knew that it was a pop culture thing, so I just said it.
I recommend watching it. Googled. It's great.
Yeah, I probably should. I'm watching Sons of Anarchy at the moment, actually. Okay. Really enjoying that, so I'll probably go on The Sopranos after it. But it's one of them things I know how it ends. Right. So... And I don't like the ending.
Yeah, but I mean, you know how 5 minutes of one show ends. There's another, you know, tens of hours. Of
exactly.
Like, you know, you talk of kind of, you know, regretting some of your words and stuff, and then ending with the Batman reference, Deep in the Mansion, League of Assassins. You know, I mean, Jeff ended with the Golden Age. You're ending with a DFAFD. You got to get the audience behind you, I suppose, in some way.
deadpan at the crowd. I remember Soul saying, "Please don't end it with a DFA bar," and I was like, "Yeah, but it's going to go off." Like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to. I just feel like I have to. Like, if you want to be a title holder, the title holder should be saying stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Even though I don't want to be a title holder, I have to pretend I do.
Otherwise, the hero they don't want and don't deserve.
Yeah, people will hate me if I pretend I don't want the title.
So, I mean, in all the judges' decisions, they seem to focus on the crux of the battle being Tony's third, and Tony's third is obviously fantastic. We'll get to the bars in a second. Like, were you feeling confident before Tony's third? Did you even think you'd won it, or was the premonition too strong?
I really didn't know. That was one of the battles that I just didn't have a clue how it was going to go. And when they said, like, I think they said they judged it 5-2. I was like, oh, I've not won then. But yeah, I felt like I remember standing there just thinking, I don't know if I won. Like, normally I'm quite chatty with people right after the battle, but I was quite quiet then.
How long was the wait?
Yeah, really long as well, because they used to film the judges' decisions before doing the like. Sometimes they just get the decisions, like, say, so the person just says the name. You sure they filmed the judges' decisions in full, and then they brought out Shotty after. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, next title shot Shotty. It's fuck Definition, he's lost.
So hang on, so Shotty came out before the decision or after? No, he came out after.
No, after.
Yeah, you're right, he did, yeah. I didn't really think of it that way, but that
enough of this loser. Get off the stage, you bum.
Yeah. Just pushes you off, like, just sorry, bro.
And then Shotty didn't even get a title match either.
They said he wasn't going to show up.
Yeah, apparently that's what the talk was about. Yeah. But yeah, so they kicked me off the stage to show Shotty, and then Shotty didn't even have a title match, so it was literally like pointless.
Yeah, it was weird. It was definitely weird. But so just the judges quickly, just to recap. Yunnan gives it Tony. He apologises for saying that he deserved the shot against Tony. Gives you a lot of love. But he's got Tony. G-Dash, Tony gives it to Tony rounds 1 and 3. And Tony's third round, is just, sensational, really. There's one bar, it was 2 bars that I really, really liked from it. But he's talking about how no one wanted you to be the title contenders. No one's going to choose you in the staff. So he says, don't flop staff meetings becoming like old people residences. The name Deff in the background, but no one wants to mention it. I really like that. And then he also talks about you were drinking, you pissed off pH, off balance, your alky lines couldn't make that pH neutral.
Yeah, that's good.
That's really that's patented Tony D stuff. That is. I remember that bar, and I was like, well, guys, that's really good. And then caps it off with his old favourite death puns. He kind of talking about Kanye when his truck flipped, talking about those people, close to death but came off the other side winning. Which is nice, nice close there. And then the other judges, Euphorical is with me, and I'm with him. We don't understand Tony's slogan.
You're not going to say I won, are you?
I'm not going to say you won.
Thanks, Mister. Oh, what?
But Youth gives it to you as well, and and MA as well gives it to you. Matt,
which is a turnaround after calling me boring.
Right? Yeah, I was surprised about that, but I like MA's judging. He seems very fair. And he always gives kind of reasonable analysis. Blizzard gives it Tony. Matt gives it Tony. Im thinks you lack cohesion. I like Im's breakdown on this. Actually, he gives it Tony. It's 5-2.
Yeah,
which is
fair enough.
You can't feel too angry at that, but you've not been interested in battle for a while anyway. Was this kind of like the final say to maybe take a little break? You lost the title.
Yeah, because then it's kind of like, what else can you do?
Yeah.
You're probably not going to get another title shot. It's very rare that happens. Like Arcane's had a couple, but he's won a tournament. So it was just kind of like, it was a bit of a weight off my shoulder, to be honest. I was kind of like, thank fuck I don't have to battle whoever Don't Flop tell me to down the line. So
and you had the rest of 2013 was strong. You had the DK battle, which was really well received. Pretty funny battle PH, as we said out there. Back to King the Dot again. Rest in peace, PH. Just lots of great experiences there. What do you remember of that World Dom 4, wasn't it?
Just to go back on a point, kind of, I think I'm the type of battler who shouldn't be the title holder. You know what I mean? I think there are certain people who should be ambassadors of your league, like Tony D's one, Soul's one. I don't think I should be. Like, I don't know what it is. I think that there's certain people that should be. Like, there's a bit of a Batman reference, like he's the hero we need, not the one we deserve. You know what I mean? So like, looking back, it was probably a good thing that I didn't win the title, because the league probably would have went to shit if they were like, Definition's your title holder and he's fucking terrible. Right, so anyway, back to what you were saying. So the PH battle, that was like, fuck. The last time I spoke to PH was when we were really angry at each other at World Domination 3, right? When he like threw me out of the room, and we had this year. I can't remember, man. I just got really drunk. You can see me in the nameless first PH battle in the judge's decision, just being an absolute idiot. Like, Anecdote has to come and pull me out because I'm just sitting there going, PH is shit. Oh, shit. And then so the year. Like, we hadn't spoken to each other for a year, and then me and Bloodstraw were sitting in my friend in Canada's house on the morning of the battle, and PH just pops up like on Facebook chat, tell your friend he's dead, I'm gonna knock him the fuck out. And I'm just like, oh shit, I'm gonna get killed. Like, this gangster from New York wants me dead. But as soon as we got the event, he just like walked over at me. We just like mean mugged for a second, then he just burst out laughing. And then the battle does have like a really fun vibe to it.
Yeah,
like,
it does.
The sound quality is not that good, but
the whole
you can tell.
Catchy, but
you can tell we kind of like had no hard feelings towards each other. So it was really sad when he like passed away.
It was terrible, yeah.
Like, I was really devastated when he did.
You and him had a great battle, man. Like, this is one of his last big battles. You know, it's a great kind of testament. Obviously, he's been in tons and tons of battles, PH. But regardless, like, you and him battling, he's a huge name. Not that you aren't, but you know what I mean. Like, he's a big, he's a legend.
Well, he's a legend. Yeah, he's like legend status. Like, it's very rare that you find a battle fan who didn't grow up listening to, not a battle fan, a battler who didn't grow up listening to PH. So it was like crazy just to battle them, because I'd heard so much about him, like from watching the WRCs when he was just judging, to then listen to his music, and then he ran his own league for a bit, and then everyone was like thinking he was going to be shit when he battled, and he battled his ass and absolutely killed him. So it was like a huge honor to kind of battle him.
Yeah, he was great.
And we just had fun with it, really. It was like, we both had a laugh, and really enjoyed it. It was probably one of my favorite battles to do. I remember Cortez like mean mugging the entire time, and then I did the Arnold Schwarzenegger line, and it's the only Cortez just started bursting out laughing. I was like, everyone's having fun. Everyone's having the best day of their life.
Everyone seems to be having an even better day when you battle Saurus. The atmosphere for that battle is equally fun.
You've been friend-zoned by a groupie. Don't you think that shit's weird? She fucked Uno Lavos after you. She's practically sleeping her way to mid-tier. I'm sincere. My motto in life is to punch kids and fuck bitches. And if you do 3-0 me, this battle will come up missing. I'll leave you unlisted.
I think that's kind of just like, that's kind of like my dream battle. Like, I don't care if you watched battles before 2010, then the Saurus was the person you wanted to battle. And I remember, like, me and my friends used to talk about him, and he was like, "Oh, is he like the David Beckham of battle rap?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Oh, what would you do to like battle the Saurus?" I was like, "I'd kill anyone." And then I used to think like, "Oh, the only time I'd ever battle him is probably like in a freestyle battle," which happened. And then I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm done." And then I remember Organic just messaged me like, "We're doing World Domination. Would you battle Uno Lavos?" And I was like, yeah, I'll battle Uno Lavos, really good. And I messaged Uno like, "Do you want to battle?" And he was like, "Nah, you're shit. You'll get no one. You'll do nothing this event." And then I just randomly messaged the Saurus, not even thinking that he would reply. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm on it. And I was like, nice one.
Wow.
No, I remember he said he wasn't on it. He said he'd think about it. And then like 3 days later, Organic messaged me saying, yeah, so you and the source is happening, yeah? Did you confirm it? And I was like, oh no, he said he wouldn't get back to me. He's like, no, he says he wants to do it.
Ah.
And I was like, wow.
I must have felt crazy, man. I mean, because like, you know, do you just see yourself as, you know, just the guy, you know, from Newcastle sort of thing? I mean, I know, but obviously in the eyes of so many Battle Rap fans, you're not an equivalent of Thesaurus, but the very fact that you're battling, that you've battled DNA, you battled PH, you know, you've incredible. Like, you know, these people that you're battling, it says a lot about your pedigree.
Yeah, because I don't like view myself in that way.
No, I'm sure you don't.
I just see myself as like, I don't go to the events enough to get that ego about myself, because I don't have that many people. Like, none of my friends like battles. My girlfriend hates it.
Yeah,
so I'm not there's like I'm not surrounded by people who like act like I'm special. So when I get these opportunities, it is kind of weird.
It's just impressive, as I say, like, you know, to have been face to face so many legends and just held your own. Like in this Saurus battle, well, Saurus is obviously an incredibly gifted battler.
But he is like the battler. He's like the battler.
I'll actually announce it here because we have discussed it, but he is going to be on the show soon.
Cool,
So that'll be really good to have him on. I'm a huge fan of his. I'm just like, I've got like, you know, I'm trying to watch literally all of his battles.
Yeah, wow.
So many.
You gotta have like 4 days off work.
It's just ridiculous. Like, you know, just and a lot of them are like part 1, part 2. So there's so many individual kind of things to watch. But having fun, man. He's brilliant. And just to clarify as well, this is so World Done 4, you're battling. World Done 5, you're battling Saurus. World Done 1 was Tricky P.
Yeah, 2 D-Law, 3 Dirtbag Dan.
That's right. Yeah.
4 PH, 5 Thesaurus.
And even
it's a nice little collective.
And like all of those people, apart from D-Law, is kind of forgotten now. All those people are pretty, you know, well known figures, and it's not like you're kind of the British guy. And they do, like when Youth Oracle came over and they gave him Miracle. I think I'm like, who the fuck's this guy? Like, and Pedro battled a no one on GZs as well. Yes, Pedro was on King of the Dot. If you type that in, you will get.
He thought he was. Yeah, he thought he like was actually on the main card as well until like day 3.
No,
and he was like, "Yo, this is King of the Dot event, isn't it?" I was like, "No, it's Ground Zero." He was like walking around the event devastated because he thought he was on King of the Dot.
Shit, that's harsh, man.
Yeah, really bad.
So yeah, this battle against Saurus, like, I mean, were you nervous, or have you just, you know, you've had like 30 odd battles to this point, and but is it Saurus? It's new.
I wasn't that nervous at battling him because I get on quite well with him. I was more nervous about I was more nervous about the fact that I hadn't battled for a while, and whether I'd lost touch with it. Like I watch my DNA battle and just think, I've lost touch with battling. This is shit. Yeah, I really don't like that battle. And that's kind of the mindset that I had with Thesaurus. Like, I didn't know whether anything I say would get action. I knew my WRC about is to engage. You've been engaged more. You've got more WRC rings. Something about engagement rings anyway. So I knew that would, but everything else I was just kind of no idea. And I knew he would do something about the teaching, but I just didn't really know what he'd come with, to be honest. I knew he'd have like 1 round on that.
It was quite a short battle, isn't it? I mean, you don't seem to have written too long for each other.
We wanted. I purposely messaged him before it saying strict 90 seconds. I don't want like a 45-minute battle. Yeah, because it's boring, really. We just try to keep it simple, just nice feel to it. It doesn't overstay its welcome. So I do. That's probably one of my favourite battles, to be honest.
Yeah, that's great.
I kind of wish I'd retired on it instead of doing the fucking DNA battle.
So, I mean, is that reality then? Is DNA your last battle, or?
No, definitely not. No, I'll do some, like, I just want the right opponent.
Right.
I'm buying a house in September, so I'm kind of busy with that.
Sure.
I got offered Big J, but it'd be a good battle, but like it's not appealing to me to the point where I think, right, I'm gonna not focus on buying a house to do this battle.
What about Shuffle?
I confirm that like once a month for a joke on Twitter. But I think that'll go down. Like, we've got enough angles on each other that have never been used before. But just depends when and where. But I think he's a lot better than me, to be honest.
He's insane, isn't he?
Yeah, like the shit he had against Heretic.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Amazing. The cartoons about the gun.
Right.
Was just how the massive gun. So fucking hell, this is incredible. So yeah, I'd have to be like really creative to beat Shuffle, I think.
Yeah. I mean, but I think
or
it's
like
a challenge,
really
right? Yeah, really just a bastard. You know, but no, Shuffle's insane. And you talk about the plastic nature of the WRC rings, and you say Harry. Who are you talking about here?
Harry was he used to run jump off.
Right. And he like made the rings, or
he just. Well, he ran jump off, so he just gave people the ring. Right. I can't remember what I said about him, but just a molly.
Saw us talking that JMW Turner shit. He'll have a small stroke on the canvas. That's impressionism.
Yeah,
quite like that. I mean, Saurus, this isn't like his greatest material, but he always gives great performances. All bark, no bite. Is a tree to a chainsaw. You know, robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah, I had a PayPal line that I just couldn't quite figure out because obviously I realised he's called Peter, I'm called Paul. I had a Robin Peter to pay Paul. And then he turned it in the PayPal line. Mine was terrible, so I'm glad I didn't drop it.
And do you have that ability, like, okay, he said a bar, I can just take that out midway from a verse and my brain will just skip that, or are you kind of on direct mode when you're just reciting it?
Yeah, I've actually been, I don't think I could take something out, but I've actually been alright at inserting flips into the middle of rounds.
Oh, wow.
Which is weird. Like against Holly Holster, I had so many things I just thought of on the day that I just managed to put in and do flips. But you kind of have to know going into it that that's what you're going to do. You can't do it as you're saying it. You have to, while they're doing their round, you have to think, right, I'm going to stop here, do that, put the flip in there, wait for the reaction, go back to my written. So it's working on the fly, but when you've been over it enough times, you know the material well enough, you can do stuff like that.
No, entirely. And the same way that Tony liked Deff, Saurus like saying Deff as well. Brought my own metal. I don't like Deftones. You know, quite nice there as well. And then in the second, Jefferson Price, as we were saying, gets mentioned a lot here as well. How you and him were going to move away together to the sticks. You know, and then more engagement rings than WRC ones is a really good line.
That was the line I was trying to say. That was good.
That was a really good line. Archaic had a similar line where it was sort of like more X's than your T-shirt size or something like that, which was quite nice as well. More marriage vows than you have battle rounds. It's really, really good as well. And then just because you look like Geodude doesn't mean you have to throw rocks. Original 151 references will always get my stamp of approval, man. So
no doubt.
I appreciate that. Like, you know, he's also got a bit of gravitar about him as well. Like his burliness, but you know. Yeah,
I think he looks a bit like Geodude. I think that's a good.
Yeah, the rocky sort of outcrop of face. Yeah, definitely. Geodude actually with the arms coming out the head. It's such a kind of a cool image. Shout out Geodude. Do you play? I've not played Pokemon Go at all. Have you played?
Me neither.
It doesn't really interest me, but I know a lot of people love it. But
I'm kind of like purposely staying away from it,
right?
Because I know like I don't want it to suck up my life.
And do you have that personality? Do you get addicted by games?
Not really, no, but I just know that I don't have the time for it. Right, I downloaded this Arkham Underworld thing today, and I literally played the tutorial and just thought, I don't have time for this, and just deleted it.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm that kind of person.
No, I get what you mean. Whenever I think I have time for video games, I sit down and I'm like, I could just use my time better. Like, I kind of enjoy watching clips of them on YouTube, but actually sitting down and playing, I can never get absorbed in the world. But
once you have like a proper job, then goodbye video games.
Sadly so. But that was Saurus. So we'll just wrap up with a few quick fire questions as we always do on the show. The first one that I want to ask is favourite King of the Dot battle.
Holohan vs. Pat Stay.
Oh, that one comes up often. Yeah, good choice.
It's the best one.
Yeah. Ever
by far.
Wow.
It will be downhill from then.
Yeah, no, I think maybe bring back Hotlerhand, by the way. Like that guy's that guy's been around. Didn't he battle T-Rex at Blackout or something like that? But it wasn't very good. So bring back good Hotlerhand. But do you have a favourite URL battle?
Solkhan vs. What's the guy from Blade called again?
Oh no, I know what you mean.
Deacon Frost.
Deacon Frost, yeah.
Yeah.
Good. I haven't actually seen that one. I have to check that out.
It was really good. Like, Sol Khan absolutely murders him.
And I guess I should ask.
You should watch that.
Don't Flop Battle. Do you have a favourite, or is that too close to the bone?
I don't know why, but I'm thinking Pseudonym versus Monster Under the Bed.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I need to watch that one. I saw that on the verse tracker of his.
Yeah, that's really good. It's quite old though. Pretty much every O'Shea battle, to be honest.
Yeah, he's insane. So yeah, two more. And your favourite musical artist or group that are in no way hip-hop orientated or related?
Probably Led Zeppelin.
Nice. Yeah, I love Physical Graffiti. That's a great double disc. That is.
Yeah, or Taylor Swift. I like a bit.
Well, You Belong to Me has some bars in it. So
Style was the song of the year last year.
Wow. Okay. Shout out 1989. And finally, your favourite film, Dev?
The Godfather.
I was expecting a Dark Knight there, but
nah.
Yeah,
I think The Godfather probably.
It is unbelievable.
Maybe Batman vs Superman, the 72-hour cut.
Have you seen the new cut of that? I've only seen.
Yeah,
is it
it's really good.
Is it good? Okay.
He fixes a lot of stuff.
Oh wow. Okay, I need to check that out.
I wouldn't recommend it to someone who doesn't like comics, but it does. If you're a fan of Batman, I think you'll like it. But I hated the theatrical release. But
yeah, no, I
enjoyed that.
I mean, I thought the intro to the theatrical release was great when like Bruce is watching Superman fight.
Yeah,
that was quite exciting. But the rest of it was just from there.
Yeah, the Batman factory, the warehouse scene.
Yeah,
just tears of joy when I saw the trailer for that.
Oh yeah, that's very Arkham-y, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Well, they ripped off Arkham, but I was like, oh my god, they did it. They actually did it. Bit weird, but
no, that's
enjoyed
cool.
it.
No, thank you, bro. So, how do people find like you? Are you on social media, Twitter or?
Yeah, my Twitter is Definition MC. My Instagram is also that. But I pretty much just post pictures of me and my girlfriend, so it's a bit boring.
Well, no, yeah, I mean, yeah, but you do some stuff on Twitter that's occasionally hilarious as well, so I think that's probably the best place to find you. But
once in a while.
Yeah, right, I mean, the golden age is over,
shit
man.
At the wall.
Like,
you throw enough shit at the wall, some of it sticks.
Yeah. So, something gets retweeted, But, no, thank you so much, and thank you to everyone for listening as well. Of course, you can get at us, battlerapresume@gmail.com, at battlerapresume on Twitter, also got the blog, battlerapresume.wordpress.com. Go on the channel, listen to an episode you haven't listened to, check out a battle you haven't heard before, and thank you so much, Dev.
Yeah, thank you as well. I probably sound really drained by now. I don't know how you managed to stay so enthusiastic, but I guess you're excited because you're talking to such a celeb.
Exactly.
Myself, but I've had fun.
No, good man, and
memories like the corners of the
It's the biggest pimp in the northeast. Got a girl's lips or hips with my balls beat. And I slid with your chicken and orgy. But I won't call you a bitch, cause bitch you can call me. I'll put you up inside a petrol station. Stuff dynamite and C4 inside the ventilation. Blow it up, and if you survive the detonation, then you'll find the death is chasing like your final destination. I'm a line of coke, you're a pint of Pepsi. I'm Andre the Giant, you're the height of Jet Li. Freddy Krueger thinks that he's fine on Elm Street, but in his nightmares he fights against me. You're a black and white TV, I'm a wide television in high definition. Drug rappers say that I never have pushed crack, but I'll just steal their drugs and sell them their drugs back like that.